Some breaking news out of Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia. Their one custom coaster in Cheetah, one of the last Custom Coasters International wooden roller coasters, is being retired. If anyone visited the park last year, you probably noticed that Cheetah was closed for the entire season, and the entire area with this ride was blocked off. So its status entering the 2021 season was unknown. Would the park reopen the ride, or would it stay closed? And those who have messaged the park lately have gotten sad news. Cheetah is being retired. And the exact quote is that Cheetah is being retired to make room for new and exciting changes in the coming years. So let's break down the first part of that. Why is Cheetah being retired? In 2020, the reason given for the ride's closure was because you couldn't properly social distance on the ride and in the area. So the original thought was that this coaster would reopen once the pandemic was over or the social distancing restrictions were lifted. However, that does not appear to be the case. So why is Cheetah not going to open again? For those who rode Cheetah recently, many said it was a rather rough and bumpy ride. And that's not too surprising for a few reasons. 1. CCIs can get rough if they're not diligently maintained. 2. This one ran the Gerstlauer trains that enthusiasts are not a big fan of. And 3. This ride has 3 helixes. And if you know anything about wood coasters in general, those are one of the roughest parts of a ride to maintain, so it's not too surprising that this CCI would have developed roughness over the years. Now let's look at the second part of that email. It's being retired to make way for new and exciting changes in the coming years. So naturally, my first thought is RMC, or Rocky Mountain Construction. Herschend, the owners of Wild Adventures, has worked with this company multiple times in the past on 2 wooden coaster projects. The first was Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, and the second was Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Outlaw Run was Rocky Mountain Construction's first full-scale topper track wooden roller coaster, and Lightning Rod was the world's first launched wooden roller coaster. We know the latter has had a lot of reliability issues, and that's actually the reason that Dollywood is retracking Lightning Rod, and 57% of the ride is receiving iBox steel track for the 2021 season. I know that ride probably put a strain on the relationship between RMC and Herschend, but the fact that Herschend went back to RMC yet again to work with them in order to fix their signature attraction at Dollywood tells me they are still open to working with Herschend and those lines of communication are open. And in the brief time that they were running Darien Lake, they looked to turn Predator into an RMC hybrid coaster called the Lake Monster. So my dream here would be if this ride were converted into an RMC steel hybrid coaster. The biggest problem with Wild Adventures for me as a coaster enthusiast is that of their 7 roller coasters, Cheetah was their only custom coaster. Everything else is pretty much straight out of the Vekoma clone catalog. Cheetah was also their only roller coaster that really focused on airtime. Their other ones are either family rides or inversion-based coasters. So that's why I would love to see this ride turned into an aggressive RMC. That would make the ride smoother, wilder, and better. This would give the park a signature attraction for years to come, and it would give coaster enthusiasts a lot of reasons to visit the park. What are some of the other options the park could use? There are 3. 1. They could have the ride retracked as a steel coaster using GCI's Titan track. 2. They could retrack this ride in full with wood. This would be similar to the treatment that Ghost Rider got at Knott's Berry Farm a few years ago, and this was also done by GCI. 3. The ride could be removed to make way for future additions. And if you look at where Cheetah is located in the park, it is in the very back of the park on a thin plot of land with animal exhibits on both sides of the attraction. So it could be replaced with a completely different ride in general, or it could be replaced by another animal exhibit. And if Cheetah is removed, I sort of think they'd replace it with an animal exhibit just because of where it is. So which of these options do I think is the most likely? I think the first or last option are the most likely. And I'm leaning towards this ride getting the RMC hybrid treatment. Again, the reason being that Herschend has worked with RMC extensively in the past, and if the Lightning Rod hybrid conversion for 2021 works successfully, I could see them going back to them to fix this wood coaster if it's as rough as people say. While it's sad news that Wild Adventures is losing their lone custom coaster, hopefully something good can happen to this park in the next few years to make up for it. What are your thoughts on this ride being removed or renovated? Have you been to Wild Adventures? Specifically, have you ridden Cheetah? I would love to hear what you think about this ride and its closure. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.